Buen dia from La Expatriada. I am a single American retiree relocating into the country of Panama. Are you here because you are considering relocating outside of the United States? Welcome to a safe space. So, I have a question for you. Where do you start? Maybe you have that question for me. So let's talk about where I think you should start. I am not an immigration professional. I am not a mental health professional. So make sure that you do your own research. I'm hoping that I give you some food for thought. And if you let me know in the comments, I might even be able to guide you in the right direction if there's something that I don't personally know about. I want to tell you a little something about me. I think that I am somewhat analytical. I'm also a list person. And that's why you'll always see me list some notes over here when I'm sharing information about my journey relocating outside of the United States. I think where you should start is identifying your why. Why do you want to leave the United States? It's so easy to think of the negative things that are happening, particularly in the United States, and all of the reasons that you're just sick and tired of being sick and tired. I don't think that's a good time to make a decision. I honestly think that you should take a rest, maybe even take a vacation, and think about relocating when you're in a better place. That way you can think rationally. It's also my advice that you tell no one. Tell no one. Telling people, in my opinion, prevents you from moving forward on any decision you're likely to make. People are going to put their fears on you. They're going to make excuses for you. It's just not a time to be distracted by the thoughts and the feelings of others. So you take a rest, you get your mind right, you identify your why, you tell no one. What do you do next? My recommendation is to look at the actual logistics. Look at your family dynamic. Are you bringing a spouse? Are you bringing children? Are you leaving solo like I did? The requirements vary and the costs vary when you bring other loved ones. And you also want to look at the impact on your loved ones mentally and physically when they leave the United States with you. Are you in a place where you are really going to live for you and not feel like you're doing some sort of horribly selfish thing to move? Do you have grandchildren? Do you have family members or anyone that you feel attached to? And when you feel that way, are you ready to create a strategy that just because you live in another place does not mean you will never see those family members again? People often miss calculating the cost to travel to and from the country that you decide and coming back to the United States if that's where you're leaving. I have an adult son, and he is a very well-versed and experienced world traveler. I'm very confident that he will come to me. I'm also willing to visit the United States from time to time to see him, but let's just be honest. When you live in paradise, people are pretty much willing to come and visit you. After you've thought about your family dynamic and thought about a strategy, have you thought about the location and why? Are you a mountain person? Are you a beach person? When you identify what kind of person you are, is that based on being a tourist or taking vacations? Or is that based on where you would actually like to live? There are a lot of expats that I encounter on a pretty regular basis that learn the hard lessons of living like a tourist versus living like a resident. I've been a long time solo traveler, and I think I started solo traveling really early. I was never one of those people who took girl trips or planned trips with other people or with significant others. I've always had an adventurous spirit in my mind, and I always wanted to see the world. I started moving around in the United States, traveling quite a bit. There wasn't a lot of social media back then. I wish there were, because there would have been so much to show you and share with you. I say that because I feel like that primed me more to realizing that the world was bigger than my backyard. I was able to see a lot of new cultures and experience new things. When it came time for me to make a decision to leave the United States, I had already had a level of experience where I was able to make the decision more calmly and rationally. Once you identify the place, what is your lifestyle? What are your hobbies? What kind of activities do you pursue now, and what kind of activities would you like to pursue later? Climate is something that seems to be very, very important for people who are leaving the United States. So, are you going to build the perfect climate for you? If it's not perfect, are you able to move and shake when those seasons change? Next, you want to look at your opportunities. Will you still be working? Will you be going to school? Whatever opportunities that you plan to pursue, would this place give you the opportunity to pursue those activities that you have in mind? The cost of living. Kind of amazing to me when I share with some people, young people in particular, about leaving the United States. The first thing that comes to their mind is money, and that I can't because I don't have any money. Listen, if you feel like you don't have any money, there's nothing wrong with continuing to research. Why would you wait to the last minute? When you look deeply into the cost of living in other places, you might find that you actually can afford it. Don't let the fear and the presence of something new discourage you from looking into this. Let's start with visiting the country that you're interested in. You want to try to go there and live like a resident might live, as opposed to living like a tourist. But in your initial scouting visits, have a good time. Try your best to immerse in the local culture and learn as much as you possibly can. The second thing that I would recommend is start to look at the cost of living while you're visiting. Visit the local grocery stores, visit the department stores, look at the prices of things. You're going to be in a situation potentially where you're going to have to buy some new things. You want to incorporate the cost of buying new things once you leave. You want to incorporate that cost into everything overall. Calculate the price of ongoing travel, whether that just be travel for your leisure, but travel to visit family members. Now you've got to look at the visa opportunities. Every country holds a different opportunity for a visa. It's pretty easy to identify the available visa programs. That's a very simple Google or AI search. Next, you're going to look into the cost of attorney services. You will require an immigration attorney in most countries, so you want to identify how much that's going to cost. You want to interview them if at all possible. I found that there are many attorneys that will give you a free consultation. They could even do that via Zoom or via the web. But if you're visiting that country and you have an opportunity to meet with an immigration attorney, I would recommend that you do so. And remember, the immigration attorney does a lot of work for you, but you'll need various paperwork, background check information, birth certificates. All of that information is something that you can do on your own, and I highly recommend that you do. Another thing to consider when you're identifying your why. If you are running away from challenges in your life, and I think all of us have challenges in our life we'd like to run away from, when you get to where you're going, they're still going to be there with you. If you don't address the challenges that you have now, they're not going to go away later. And the last thing I'll mention is, what will you leave behind? Now, that's a big question for yourself. Will that be things, actual physical things? Will that be people? Will that be a certain mentality? And all of the above are probably going to be something you're going to need to deal with. It's going to be a requirement that you leave some things behind. This is a short list of things that you should consider when you consider relocating outside of your native land. Let me know in the comments if you have any specific questions or if there are any topics that you would like me to talk about based on my experience.